Well, the member must go for the call at the time. Carmel Sepuloni.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, I'd like to make a brief speech just to reiterate Labour's support for this bill. This bill, of course, arises from work done by the 5th Labour government. In 2003, Helen Clark, along with John Howard, set up the Trans-Tasman Working Group on Court Proceedings and Regulatory Enforcement. The working group identified ways to streamline the process for resolving civil proceedings involving a Trans-Tasman element. Their recommendations were, Mr Speaker, incorporated into the agreement on Trans-Tasman court proceedings and regulatory enforcement signed in 2008. New Zealand and Australia have two of the most closely aligned or integrated economies in the world. Every day there is a huge movement of people, assets and services between these two countries. Of course, this means that disputes with a cross-border element will inevitably arise, and this bill is therefore very important as it facilitates the efficient and effective resolution of such disputes. These reforms are important for all businesses and individuals that could be involved in Trans-Tasman disputes. For them, this bill will make the justice system more efficient and more affordable to use. For them, it will simplify Trans-Tasman court proceedings and make dispute resolution much easier. These reforms, Mr Speaker, are also important for the future of closer economic relations between New Zealand and Australia. This bill provides support for the Trans-Tasman trade relationship and removes barriers to that relationship. It more closely integrates the civil justice systems of the two countries, and the passing of this bill would also mean regulatory enforcement between New Zealand and Australia would be greatly improved. This bill is enormously significant for closer economic relations between New Zealand and Australia. It will bring our two separate legal systems into alignment in a way that is unprecedented anywhere in the world. It is symbolic of our close and unique relationship that New Zealand and Australia can work like this to allow for even closer cooperation between individuals and businesses across the Tasman. Acknowledgements should be made, Mr Speaker, to Simon Power for introducing this bill and to the 5th Labour government for setting up the Trans-Tasman Working Group on Court Proceedings and Regulatory Enforcement in 2003 and for signing the agreement on Trans-Tasman Court Proceedings and Regulatory Enforcement in 2008. This bill concludes the excellent work done by the previous government on reforming the process for resolution of disputes with a Trans-Tasman element. Thank you, Mr Speaker.